Are you in the beginning of your UI and UX design career, but your designs are not looking like the ones you are inspired by? Not a problem, I've been there. In this video, I'm going to share with you the principles that will make you a better UI UX designer. It doesn't matter if you are designing mobile apps, websites, or brochures. The same design principles applies to any design. So it's called visual hierarchy. It's the principle of arranging the elements to show the order of importance. You can do that by manipulating the size, the contrast, the colors, the proximity. So I will talk about each of these aspects, but like an introduction, give you some examples to better understand this, and in later videos I will talk more about these aspects. The idea is that mastering these design principles will help you to become a better UI and UX designer, because these are the foundations, the principles of any design. So you have to master this in case you wondered why your designs are not looking like the ones you are inspired by. If you apply these principles step by step, you will see an improvement in your designs, and the designs will look more like the ones you are inspired by. Now let's talk about each of these principles and give you some examples. The first one is size, which is the most effective way to emphasize the visual elements. Basically, larger elements draw greater attention than smaller elements. Another important principle about this concept is scale, which is the size of an object in relation to another one. A single object, no matter how large or small, has no scale until it is compared to another. It allows us to create balance in a design and focus on dominant elements. The greater the scale, the greater the emphasis. Color and contrast. Just as larger elements are perceived as more important than smaller elements, bright colors usually draw greater attention than duller ones. The color combinations of a design and how they relate to one another, it's usually known as color scheme. A designer's choice of color scheme can create unity, harmony, rhythm, and balance within a creation, but it can also create contrast and emphasis. Vertical rhythm. It's one of the most important practices when working with typography. We try to keep vertical spaces between elements on a page consistent with each other. This is often done with the help of a baseline, a common denominator used to create the consistent spaces. This is something that I will talk about in another video, because I want to give more example and show you how it's done. There is white space, blank space, or negative space in design, which refers to the space between each graphic element of your composition, and it can have any color, texture, or pattern. It's used by designers to make breathe each element of the design layout and create emphasis on certain elements of the composition. White space is used by designers to create a visual hierarchy among the graphic elements, to help the viewer scan the design and easily identify the focal points. By adding white space in your design, it also increases the legibility and readability of your text. And negative space can help you to create a minimalist design style. Proximity, where elements appear in relation to one another, is one of the most basic elements of composition. Simply speaking, placing related elements close together suggests to readers that they are in fact related. Alignment is part of the structure of which elements are placed in a design. It dictates the visual components, whether they be text or images, are not positioned arbitrarily throughout a composition. For example, a typical page of text is aligned to the left so that objects share a left margin. Repetition. Just as contrast emphasizes and draws attention to design elements, repetition creates unity, which boosts understanding and recognition. For a unified design, repeat some element, whether it's font, color, shape, or size, throughout the entire composition. Consistent styles help clearly define the visual hierarchy of any design. These are the principles that I wanted to give you an introduction, and In another video I will talk more about this and show you more examples and also show you how to implement them in your designs. So if you learned something from this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel to learn more. Thanks a lot.